We are back. Hi, everyone. I'm just going to situate myself. Get your cameras on. Get ready for Book a Stage. Part 2 of the 3B system. It is time. Hi, Alison. I love your beautiful smile. Hello, everyone. Young, you're always on camera. I love it. Dedicated. Hi, David. Hi, John. Hi, Monica. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Carol. Hi, Robert. Hi, Margaret. Margaret on her phone, dedicated. Deborah, beautiful sunshine. I don't even know if it's sunny or not here because I'm in a studio and we don't see any windows, right? Hi, Claudia. Claudia is the first person in Sprint. She is the first founding member. Stella. Hi, Stella. Hi, Jade. Welcome, welcome. Okay, turn your cameras on. It is time for us to book stages. Now we're going to unfreeze the Zoom, turn your cameras on, get ready. You're not going to want to miss this because yesterday we talked about building a stage. Now this is about booking a stage. And what's funny is I always was afraid to go on other people's stages because you don't want to disappoint them. Does that make sense, everyone? You don't want to disappoint someone's stage that you go on. You want to make sure that you give massive value. I've signed up. I'm terrified maybe because I've massive heavy workload in July, but you're totally persuading me, Sarah. Deborah, what I'll say to you is time management is my specialty. I will get you into action in as little time as possible. I'm not a hustle culture. This is not, you come in and please do 6 hours of work a day. That's not the way it is. We're going to make it really simple, really easy with a one-page plan just for you. I just signed up too. Welcome, Alison. Everyone who just signed up, type Sprint into the Zoom chat. It got really busy, which was amazing. I'm excited to see you all in Sprint. If you are in Sprint, Young, you're in, Margaret, you're in. Will you change your name on Zoom? So just your first name and then Sprint. So Deborah Sprint, Young Sprint, just so we know who are the Sprint group. Be ready to become best friends, right? You now have a community of new best friends as speakers. So I'm excited for you all who have joined and who will be joining, right? Now, this has nothing to do with Sprint. This is about booking stages. Are you ready? So everyone who has joined Sprint, change your name now. So it's on Zoom. So Marina Sprint, Margaret Sprint, just write down Sprint next to it. No, on your Zoom name. So change on your actual Zoom name. Okay, so part of the 3B system, right? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I am beyond excited because this is part of the 3B system, okay? Let's quickly review the 3B system. Are you ready? Give me a yes in the chat. Now, I'm going straight into content. So I'm going to be trailblazing through this. Turn your camera on. Get your pen and paper. It's time to book stages with other people's audiences. Grow your audience and close clients. This is something everyone struggles with, and I cannot wait to teach you this, okay? So welcome back, everyone. This is Book a Stage as part of the 3B system. Now, let's recap the system. You got to book stages, build stages, and buy stages. Book a stage is the first step in the system. And I'm going to show you how some of the stages that you can actually book. Now, as you know, there are over 10 stages. There's webinars, social media lives, retreats, workshops, guest trainings, Facebook challenges. And your goal is to pick which ones that you want to book. For example, my favorite stages to book are always guest training, which is speaking on someone else's audience. I love booking webinars in people's communities. I love booking speaking gigs on people's summits and podcasts. So there's many different stages that you can book. And my goal in this session is I'm going to show you how you can book stages. Now, what is booking a stage? What does that even mean? Booking a stage means that you're getting on someone else's stage. They've done all the work. And what you're doing is you're going to give them great value to their audience, speak to their audience, and close them as clients. What I love about this strategy, guys, is they have done all the work. Does that make sense? They have done all the work. It is their audience. So it can be their clients, their Facebook group members, maybe they have a membership, they have a network. They have an audience, and they're going to have you on their virtual or in-person stage. And all you have to do is show up with your brilliant self. And this is fun. Booking a stage is fun. And imagine you walking onto someone else's stage. I want you to imagine what that's going to feel like. You're going to feel really good. Wearing your best outfit, with the best energy, the best personality, and you're going to be the best speaker that they've ever seen in that community. Is that you? They're going to be wowed by you on that stage. Now, when you book a stage on someone else's audience, there's two types of stages. So we talk about 10 different stages. Some stages are for getting clients directly, and some are actually for growing your email list. But I want you to do both. Does that make sense? I want you to do both. So let's remind ourselves. On the left-hand side, there's client building speaking gigs, workshops, webinars, Facebook challenges, guest training, lunch and learns, conferences, retreats. And on the right-hand side is list building, summits, podcasts, social media lives. What we're talking about here is not every stage you book will be to get clients directly. Because think about it. If you get booked on someone's Instagram Live or LinkedIn audio event or Instagram Live for 25 minutes to have a bit of a conversation, do you think it makes sense for you to pitch your offer? No. What would make sense is you invite them to download your free gift. Download maybe a guide, a checklist, your ebook, join your event. If you're on a summit of 30 speakers, does it make sense for you to invite them to work with you? No. It makes sense for you to invite them to download your freebie. So when you're booking stages, there's three things that you're going to be doing, okay? You're going to be inviting them to either book a call, download a freebie, or join your free event, or buy from you. Most of the time, it's to download your freebie. Sometimes you can invite them to a call straight away. And sometimes you can actually invite them to your low ticket offer that's below $1,000. So in this session, we can't focus on every type of stage. Does that make sense? I actually want to focus on you growing your email list that may lead to clients, that will lead to clients if you have the right system. So we're going to focus on the right-hand side, summits, podcasts, and social media lives. Summits, podcasts, and social media lives. Which one would you be most interested in? Let me know. Which one do you want to speak on the most? Most people are actually finding it easy to book these stages the most. But the issue is they're not being strategic about it. They're booking the wrong ones where there's no listeners, no one downloading your freebie, or they don't know how to convert, or they're not following up. So the whole goal is that when you do book it, you do profit from it. Now, My goal is that these are really good practice for you. Because if I'm honest with you, if we go back to the 10, my favorite one for you to book is actually guest training. You're guest training someone's paid program. That's my favorite one. Or guest trainer in someone's company, a guest trainer in someone's community, paid community. That's my favorite one. But I think you focusing on the summits, podcasts, and social media lives is really good practice. You're going to have honing your speaking skills. You're going to grow your email list. So we're going to focus on these three, okay? Podcasts, summits, and social media lives. Now, what happens when you grow, when you book stages? You're going to build your following. Because what happens if they see you on a LinkedIn Live? Will they add you on LinkedIn? Yes. What happens if you speak in someone's Facebook group? Will they add you on Facebook? Yes. You will build your following. I was speaking at an event. I booked a stage last month, a free stage in Dublin called the Wealth Summit. And I actually created an Instagram account. I didn't have one. And I was able to get 100 new followers on my Instagram account from that free speaking gig. So speaking grows your audience. You're going to build your following. You're going to grow your network. My first coach, Moira, I saw her speak. She spoke to my clients, I spoke to her clients. You're going to develop relationships with these hosts. Who wants to develop relationships with podcast hosts, community leaders, people who run summits, successful summits? You're going to develop these amazing networks and relationships so you can start building your network. Now, how do we do it? So we're going to have some fun in how we're going to book these stages. We talked about what it is, booking a stage to speak in someone else's audience. You speak for free. This is where you don't pay. You speak for free. We talked about the 10 different ones that you can speak on. If you could show my face now, that'd be great. We're not on this section yet. We spoke about, let's pause here for a second. Booking a stage is going to catapult you into new audiences that you never thought about. I just want to ground us for a second. You're going to book free speaking gigs on other people's stages that you don't have to fill. You're going to grow your following, grow your network, grow your influence, become a better speaker. Who wants that? Give me yes. And I talked to you about the ones that I want you to focus on: social media lives, the podcasts, and the summits. Now, the biggest question people ask me, that all sounds great. How do I do it? Before we even get into the how, really what I want you to focus on is being very strategic with the ones that you want to book. Being very strategic with the ones that you want to book. Who is your ideal client? And what audience are they in? What podcasts do they listen to? What Facebook groups are they in? What summits are they signed up for? Whose Instagram account are they in? Whose LinkedIn account are they in? So when you know your ideal client really well, and you know what communities that they're in, then you can decide on what stages that you want to book. It's about being more strategic. Because what I see happening is you feel good. I booked a podcast. And I'm like, whose podcast? How many listeners? How are they going to promote it? What can you promote? Are you going to post on social media? Can you get a testimonial? Can you get an introduction to another podcast host? They're not thinking about any of that. Is this making sense? So you're going to have to become so strategic with this. And what I want you to start thinking about is who has an audience that you want. So when you're booking stages, I want you to think about who serves your audience, but in a different way. Okay? Who serves your audience, but in a different way? So what is booking the stages? Speaking to other people's audiences. Why? Growing your network, growing your following, closing more clients. What are they? We showed you the 10. The 3 I want to focus on: summits, social media lives, and podcasts. How to book them? Before we even get into that, let's be strategic. I want you to be strategic with where is your ideal audience? What Instagram followers? What Instagram accounts are they on? What LinkedIn accounts are they on? What Facebook groups are they in? What summits are they listening to? What podcasts are they listening to? So the first step is thinking about who has your audience. So I want you to write down who has the same audience as you, same ideal client as you, but serves them in a complementary or different way. And this is really powerful. So say, for example, if you are a life coach and you help people overcome their trauma, you help women overcome their trauma, would it make sense for you to be on a podcast for women in transitioning their lives? Yes, it would. If you are a business coach, would it make sense for you to be speaking at a summit about building your business? If you are a career coach, would it make sense for you to be on a LinkedIn Live with someone who helps people write their CVs? So I really want you to think about what type of niches complement what you do. So say, for example, for me, I help people use speaking to close clients. Who complements what I do? One is marketing agencies, people who help people grow their audiences, Instagram experts, LinkedIn experts, Facebook ad experts. They're a perfect audience that I want to speak in front of. Mindset coaches who help business owners, because I know that they also need a strategy, speaking. Is this making sense? So you're going to find, you got to be really strategic and saying, who's my ideal client? Who else services my ideal clients? And would they want me to do a talk, a live, an interview, a training? Because they know their listeners would want to hear what I have to say. Give me yes if that makes sense. So you're going to have to sit down who your ideal client is. Where are they? Who else is serving them? And be very, very strategic with who you ask. Now, would it make sense for you to try and get on someone's podcast by cold reaching out to them? That won't work. So I want to teach you 3 ways that you're going to be able to find stages to book. So once you have a talk that people want to book, a talk title, a topic that people want to book, you have some testimonials from people who heard you speak. You might even have a speaker reel. People can see you in action. You built some authority. They're going to want you on their podcast, social media live, on their summits, and on their stages. So here's what you're going to do. Here are the 3. First one is your network. This is why it's so important to always be building your network. You're going to want to ask your clients, your business friends, your social media followers, speakers that you know, who has this podcast in this niche and is looking for guests? Who has an Instagram following in this niche and looking for guests? Who has a Facebook group following in this niche and looking for guests? Who knows a summit around this topic? You can either call them, text them, post on social media. You want to ask your network. That's why it's so powerful being in my community, because you get to ask our community every single day. And they know, because they're speaking themselves. That is the first way of booking a stage. Is you have a network of people that you can ask. Because they're also speakers. Or they know speakers in your niche. Or they have communities or know people who have communities. Within your network, don't be afraid to ask this question. Second one is you going to events. Do speakers go to events? Yes, they do. And I want you to start thinking about strategic networking. Strategically networking locally and online for podcast summits and social media live swaps. So I want you to start thinking about what events can you go to so that you can find event hosts and speakers. Now, you don't go to an event and just, let's say virtually, and post in a Zoom chat, who here wants to go on my social media live? That's not strategic. Strategic networking is, if there's any networking opportunities at these events, you're connecting. You're connecting in the event Facebook group. If it's in person, you're connecting during the lunch break. If you see speakers, you're taking photos and tagging them. You're strategically networking where you're going to events. So can you start looking at BNI networks, Chamber of Commerce's, Facebook groups with other speakers, industry events that you need to go to, local business events that you need to go to, your competitors' events. You should be strategically going to events so that you can find speaking opportunities with the host, with the speakers, and with people in attendance. I can't tell you how many times I have found speaking opportunities by being at other events. So powerful. And it's not always when I'm speaking. I may not be speaking at these events. So your network, events, and groups are so powerful. The third one is you got to start being part of some groups, communities. There are Facebook groups just for speakers. There's communities just for speakers, podcast hosts, and there's masterminds just for speakers, like my community of speakers. We've hundreds in our community. You're going to have to start being part of these free and paid groups to find gigs. Can I also give you one more? I'm going to get my team to put it in the Google Doc as well. Can you give me the Google search term that they can use? She's going to kill me now. Yeah, but while she's doing that, to find speaking gigs, you're going to ask your network, right? You're going to ask your network, you're going to attend events and be part of groups. Is that making sense? Give me a yes in the chat. And can my team actually put up there the name of that Facebook group for podcast hosts?
Yes. Yep.
We're going to put that up there. Give me a second.
I've got the search term.
Okay, great. Is this making sense, everyone? Okay, great. Now, can I give you one extra way to do this? And I want you to do it now. Get your phones out. Everyone get your phone out. Get your phone. Do you have your phone? Let's do this live. What I want you to do is go to Google. And I want you, the first word, put in your topic. So wellness, marketing, business, leadership. Make it broad, okay? Make it broad. Women. So put in your first term, marketing, business, wellness, leadership, women. And the next word, I want you to type in conference. So topic, the word conference. And then I want you to put in call for speakers 2024. Now, do you see any events pop up? There might be past, there might be new ones, but does anything pop up that you would like to go and look at? There are so many industry events that you could network it in and find speaking opportunities or even speak at. Let me know in the chat. Did you find any there? Are you shocked by that? Lisa's like, oh my God, I'm blown away, Michael. Alison, wow. Guys, isn't this exciting? Isn't this exciting? I have a whole list of terms for you to be using. That was awesome. This is exciting. So many. Are you awake now? Welcome your thriving speaking business. That was a quick search term. Now, I want to give you more as well. We talked about, let's put it back up here, how to find stages to speak. We teach so many of them in our 4-month program. But see the third one that says groups? Can I give you one of the Facebook groups for you to find podcasts to speak at? Do you want to know what it is? It's called Podcast Guest Collaboration Community. Podcast Guest Collaboration Community. Find a guest, be a guest. It's a Facebook group. It's called Find a Guest, Be a Guest. So Podcast Guest Collaboration Community. Find a guest, be a guest. That is one of the Facebook groups that has speakers in it. Who is getting excited by this? So many different ideas. You're going to find stages using your network, using events, using groups, like the one I just gave you, using Google. Now, I just got an opportunity for attending an event just last month. Lisa Hugo. We met during lunch at an event called AdCon in London. And her message says here, "Hey Sarah, great to meet you at AdCon. Would love to get you on the podcast." Events and speaking lead to other speaking. Does this make sense? It snowballs. Give me a yes if that excites you. Isn't that exciting? And what's exciting is you're going to be so good that everyone's going to want to have you on their stage. Can I tell you something here with the Lisa example? I met Lisa at an event. I'm going to get on her podcast, and she's a good sized following, right? She's nearly 6,000 followers on Instagram. So let's say from that example, 400 people hear the podcast. 400 people who don't know me. How impactful is that? And the credibility. Write down credibility. Because Lisa put me on her podcast. The credibility is through the roof. So let's say out of 400 people who hear me on her podcast, I can get 100 downloads of my freebie, my lead magnet. I have 100 new people on my email list, 400 people who heard me. What can I do then? Can I post about that I was on Lisa's podcast? Could I do a social media post about it? Can I talk about my journey as a speaker on social media? Can I tag Lisa on it? Could I do a social media live with Lisa about it? Could I create 5 pieces of content around me before, during, and after this podcast that would lead to more speaking gigs, more followers, and more sales? Because everything I do, I make money. And let's say those 100 people who download my lead magnet. What if I invite them to a sales call with me or my team? A game plan call where I talk about their goals. I give them a tip and I invite them to work with me. These are hot leads. People who hear you speak on someone's stage, they enjoy it. They download your free gift because they want to know more. The ones who are serious then book a call. So let's say 15 of the 100 book a call with me. 15 sales calls from someone else's stage. And let's say I close 5 of those clients into a 5K offer. It's 25,000. And that's me having fun. And that's me having an engaging conversation. And that's me using someone else's audience. And that's me having the perfect talk. And that's me doing what I love, sharing my message, sharing value, and being a speaker that has a speaker business. So what can this look like for you? Are you getting excited by this? Booking stages in other people's audiences. How many stages do you want to get on the next 4 months? More than when you just heard this lesson, I think. You're like, let's go. Write down for yourself, how many podcasts do I want to book? How many social media lives do I want to book? How many summits do I want to book? Are you going to post about it on social media? Are you going to repurpose the content? Are you going to ask them for an introduction to another speaking opportunity? What can this look like for you? So let's say in the next 30 days that you move fast and you book 3 stages, 2 podcasts and one summit, for example. 2 podcasts and 1 summit. And I'm going to give you a small example here, right? Super small example here. So let's say, what will it look like for you to profit from this? You have a $5,000 offer, and in 1 month, you book 2 stages, 1 podcast and 1 live summit. 2 stages. And let's say you just got 50 downloads. So we're not looking for these crazy numbers. And let's say you booked 15 calls. And you made between 2 and 5 sales. That's over 10,000. Is this getting you excited? Are you feeling the excitement here? Oh my God, are you feeling the excitement here? What I see people happening, this is what I see people doing. Can I tell you here? This is what I see people doing. You have 2 groups of people. One group is they book very few of the wrong stages. Because they don't think about their ideal client. They don't think about who the host is. They don't think about the results they're going to get. They just feel good because they booked a stage. Then on the other side, I see people that are strategically booking the right stages. And you know what they're doing? This group is called leverage. They have a system. Every time they book the right stages, what are they doing? They're creating content for social media. They're asking for introductions to other stages. They're inviting people to their lead magnets. They're getting downloads. They invite those people into a sales call. Then they're really good at sales calls. And they're closing clients. But you know what's happening over in this group? They book few of the wrong stages. So what happens? Wrong audience. So the wrong people are listening. People that don't have the problem or don't have a goal that you help with. 0 to very few people actually see that stage. You go on a podcast, there's like 2 people listening. You go on a social media live and no one's on it. So either the wrong people are listening or watching, or not enough people are listening or watching. And then even if there are people, let's say they got the right people and enough people, they're so bad at their call to action. They do not know how to invite them to download their lead magnet. Tell me right now, what would you say on a podcast to invite me to download your lead magnet? What would you say? Very few people know how to say it effectively. And what happens is they get no downloads or very few downloads. And even if they do get downloads, so let's say the right audience, enough people, they're good at the lead magnet, they get downloads, they don't have a clue how to convert them into calls or clients. You want to be here. You want to be the one that leverages every opportunity. Leverage, leverage, leverage. Most people do not know how to actually invite people once they book a stage. So I want you to become booked and busy. And what does busy mean? You're not busy doing the wrong thing. You're busy taking cash and serving clients. That's what I want you busy doing. Who wants to be busy getting cash and serving clients? Because you're leveraging. You're leveraging. Does this make sense? And you're having fun. And can I tell you something crazy? This is in addition to you building Sages. This is in addition to you buying Sages. Would this completely change your business if you knew how to book the right stages with the right audience, the right number of people, invite them to your juicy free offer, and they became a client? Does this feel easier than what you're doing right now? Does this feel a lot easier than what you're doing right now? I think so. I think it's a lot easier. Who is going to join that Facebook group that I just gave you? Who's going to actually go through that Google search that I just gave you? Who wants to master this in the sprint? I did this for 30 minutes. There's a lot more to this. How you reach out, how you ask, how you find them consistently, how you get them to notice you, to say yes to you. One thing finding it, another thing booking it,